We also want to, whatever happened, we want to disable this game object. Set active to false. Well, we're okay, thinking about it. If we're getting search results from this, we do this all hands-free and stuff anyway. So whether it's successful or whether it fails, we need to get the output back to the text-to-speech engine eventually. Shouldn't just silently do either. Okay. So this is going to need access to the say stuff. Component. So if it fails, we can say speech.add. And we'll get it to say, sorry, the web search failed to complete. Okay, right. If we are successful in getting search results, however, the next thing we need to do now is send those results to GPT-3 and ask it to summarize them for us with the original query. Okay. I'm just wondering, can I do that with the same set of data, or do I need two separate? Because in my test, my search result was next Genshin patch. And it wasn't even next Genshin patch, it was something like, yeah, it was Genshin patch date. So Genshin patch date was the Google term, which gave me the answer I was looking for. However, when I asked ChatGPT to get the next patch date for me, you know, I put that query in a more human format. I didn't just say Genshin patch date, because that by saying that, it's not clear what you want the language model to do. So now I feel like when I'm doing these queries with my voice, maybe I need to provide the search query, and then I need to provide like kind of the language model summarization request as a separate thing, so that we're more likely to get the thing we're looking for. Or is there a way to get one from the other? There probably is a way to get one from the other, because that sounds like a job for a language model, right? I mean, if we... So the query, I should take the more human query, because that's what it would struggle with. I feel like a language model can take a human query and tell me what a good search syntax would be for a search engine. Then we could send that output to the Google search engine. And we already have the human query, which we then send back to the language model to then say, okay, find this information within the metadata that Google returned. Because like, it's just a pain in the ass. If I have to provide it two sets of inputs, yeah, it's just that's twice as much work as providing it with. It's more like 10. It's weird. There is something weird about that. Like two sets of inputs should be twice as much work, but somehow it's like 10 times as much work because of like all the little weird quirks with the system, right? Like, because I have to give it one set of input, then I have to pause long enough for it to like process that as one input, and then I have to give it the second input, and then I have to pause again and then wait for the results. And I don't know, somehow it's like those two things seem a lot more pain and suffering than just the one set of input that we have to give it. So to optimize my experience, I should definitely only need to give it one input. I feel like we could take that one input. So I feel like GPT can do that for us. So if I give it the human input, so if my query is, and that's how I want this assistant to work anyway, is like to be speaking to it like a person rather than like a search engine. Google, tell me the next patch date for Genshin Impact. Cat, tell me the next patch date for Genshin Impact. If we take that voice instruction and we give that to GPT and we say, okay, from this human request, please give me a good Google syntax to search Google with. I feel like GPT's built to do that. I feel like that's exactly what GPT's built to do. Right, where is GPT-4 right now? What the fuck up with that? All right, let's test it. Okay, so let's say we send it. I mean, this is GPT-4, but I feel like 3 can do most of. You know, the only difference between GPT-3 and GPT-4 is GPT-4 was had reinforcement learning from human input. So GPT-3 is kind of more creative because it didn't get the reinforcement learning from human feedback, which kind of makes it, I don't know, it makes it very different. But yeah, apparently that's kind of the main difference between GPT-3 and GPT-4 is GPT-4 is basically GPT-3 with a bit more training data but the main difference is the human reinforcement learning part of it, which GPT-3 didn't get. Okay, so let's say in this test, my voice request would be, when is the next Genshin patch? Okay, and then I would say, from the following question, please provide a good syntax for a Google search to quickly find the answer. Efficiently find the answer. Right, does that make sense? From the following question, please provide a good syntax for Google search to efficiently find the answer. Yeah, I think that's very clear. See, this is what I don't like. This is what I hate about GPT-4. It's too human with its responses sometimes. Like I want this thing to return to me just the impact. Yeah, so it suggested this would be my, so it did what I thought it would do, and it did give me a good syntax. The problem is this stuff, this human pretending to be human shit that it does. This is hard to strip out programmatically because I don't know what it's going to say. I don't know how it's going to provide. So maybe I need to change the query. You know what else it intuited? That's quite interesting. Check that out. I didn't tell it Genshin Impact, but it figured out that I was talking about Genshin Impact. Check that out. I just said, when is the next Genshin patch? And from that, it figured out, oh, you must be talking about Genshin Impact. That's quite impressive. This is where GPT is really good. I feel like this is where GPT is very good. That's quite impressive, actually. I mean, obviously Genshin's Genshin Impact, but for a computer to be able to figure that out, it's still quite impressive. Yeah, the problem is, so I need its output to feed the syntax for the Google search. So I don't want this human fluff that it pads the answer out with. I need just that string back so that I can then pass that string. And yeah, okay, I could, I could strip that string out of the biggest string overall, but how do I do that dynamically if I don't know what kind of fluff's going to come here and what kind of fluff's going to come here? Or even, I can't even really predict the amount of fluff that it's going to pad the answer out with. So this is the biggest issue I'm seeing with this method now is how do I shave the fluff of its response? Okay, what I could say, this is a good idea. How about this? Okay, that could work. If I say, from the following question, please provide, in square brackets, a good syntax for a Google search to efficiently find the answer. Now, if it does as instructed, it should come back with bullshit human fluff, the syntax, and bullshit human fluff. And then I can just say, okay, find the square brackets, strip that text out from the square brackets, and send that to Google. As long as it's consistent in doing that, that might give us what we want. Okay, let's try that. Beautiful. All right, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah, I thought that might work. Okay. Oh, I love this technology. This is gonna be so cool. Okay, so that is the text we want to feed it. Okay, right, so we've got our search results. Now I want to build that AI query. And I need to do a manual request, which I've also set up in this project, so that I can just send that straight to DaVinci without all the chatbot bullshit. So I've built something for that in here called manual request. So I can just talk to the AI directly, to the language model directly. Right, so we're going to need to use that. But for its system instructions, I need to build a string now. System instruct equals. Right, so my system instructions will be that from the following question, please provide in square brackets a good syntax for a Google search to efficiently find the answer. Or does it want that in a quote? How do we do fucking escape sequences in here? Never get it fucking right. It's either that or that, and it goes yellow. There we go. It's gone yellow. That's it. That worked. Plus a new line, plus the voice query. Where the hell's our voice query? Oh, did we even send the voice query? No, we didn't, because we weren't doing that originally. Yeah, actually, okay, this. Yeah. Okay, no, I'm doing this in the wrong place. That's why. Okay, this is our Google. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so instead of back in Stream Manager, when we were sending the voice request as the search query, we no longer want to do that. And we don't know what the syntax is yet to give query back to me, the user. So actually the first thing we need to do is a manual request to DaVinci. We've got the model name there. I haven't actually set this up yet. Oops. So public string AI query. Okay. So if we go to I'll just publicly link it. Just type some garbage in there so I can get back quickly. Again, I'll do it as a game object. Manual request. It won't let me link it back up until I get rid of that. So we'll jump here now, save it, link it up. I hate the way it does that. It's because it thinks a capital letter is the start of a new word, but sometimes using abbreviations like that. It puts it as a separate word. Anyway, whatever. It's not the end of the world. It just looks like shit. All right. So that is from our Stream Manager. Yeah, our Stream Manager. So we've got a web search we need to hook up, which is that one. We've got the manual request we need to hook up, which is that one. So we want to say manual request, get components, manual request. We want to send the, what did I call it? AI query. AI query wants to equal. Okay, do I still have that in my clipboard? Just get it now. Also, that's got quotes in it, which, oh no, actually it doesn't. Where did it get the quotes from last time then? Strange. Yeah, I don't know why that's doing that. Oh, it's because it's got a line break on it, isn't it? Yeah, it's because it's got a line break on it. That's why. Oh, also, we can just give it the escape sequence there, I think. There we go. Okay, so we send it from the following question. Please provide in square brackets a good syntax for a Google search to efficiently find the answer. Then we send it the query that we're trying to get an answer for. And it should come back with a good Google syntax that we just strip out with from the square brackets that it sends us. Then we can send that query to Google. That should find the answer we're looking for, hopefully. We send the metadata back to the AI and say, please find the answer to this original human request from the metadata. We know GPT-4 can do all this. Now it's just a question of, can GPT-3 do it? God, I hope so. If not, I've applied for early access today. This morning I applied for GPT-4 and told them what I'm up to, and We'll see if they give me early access or not. I don't think it'll be that long before we all get it anyways, but it would be nice to get on the beta. Right, so we don't know what we're Googling yet. This wants to be part of like a core routine or something, I think. Actually, all of this would need to be part of a core routine. So what we would now do, now that we've sent the request to the manual request to try and get a good Google syntax, we need to start a core routine. So we wait for the response back from OpenAI. So await Google syntax response. So it's clear exactly what we're doing. Bit of a long ass name for a routine, but that is exactly what we're doing. So that's probably a good name. Right, so we'll build that. Enumerator await Google syntax. Well, I'll just call it Google syntax. It's kind of obvious that it's a response. So we'll spell that right. All right, so we sent the manual request. Oh, we didn't actually enable it. We didn't actually enable it. So it knows. I just realized that's called manual request with a small m. That won't work. Oh, will it? Did I actually call it manual request with a small m? Did I? Oh god, I did. Yeah, shouldn't ever do that. Because the class starts with a lowercase m, so it'll get confused about whether we're referring to the class or the game object. And so will I, for that matter. There we go. So now it's clearer that we're referring to the game object. Manual request, set active to true. So it can go ahead and do that. All right, so await Google syntax. Okay. So I'll go back to my manual request and we need to now give it like an output field. I'll just call it output. Our response is probably AI response. Which I need to make sure is reset on each new instantiation. Okay, so now I can just keep an eye on that response output field. At the moment, we're just debug logging. So what I actually want to do, actually, yeah, I also need, oh god. So the thing is, this is the first time I've dealt with OpenAI's API directly. And it does what you would expect. In the same way that Google vomits a load of crap at you, this thing does the same thing. So I'm going to need to start breaking down how that information is structured and actually trying to get the information I actually want from it. Which is why I've still got it on my debug.log. But yeah, okay, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But eventually I'm going to want response, AI response rather, to equal, well, For now, I'll just put that. Just so I remember where I'm outputting it to. Okay, so we can test up to this point. I feel like nothing's gonna come back like and do anything impressive yet. But what we should, as far as we should be able to get now, is we should be able to get cat listening for. Well, originally it was going to be a search query, but I've changed the way it's going to work halfway through development. So let's see. Make sure it still makes sense from the hear words section. Yeah, so search the web. I said look up, and then, you know what would be really funny? That's actually a really good idea, actually. That's I like that. That's quite funny. I think what I might do is when I say look up, which means, you know, look this up, I think I'll change her animation so that her eyes like look up to the sky while she's listening. Because it's like a double meaning in it. And it's just, I find weird stuff like that really funny for some strange reason. Anyway, that's neither nothing or anything really. Okay, so we tell it to look up, and then it should come up, search the web, and then we know the next thing it receives, which is up here, was going to be the web query. I was going to speak the syntax to it, but now I've decided no, we're going to try and get the language model to do that for us. I just want to give it a human-like query. So from its human-like query, it should be able to build a Google syntax for us, which we then send to Google, and so on and so forth. Right, so web query equals true. At the moment, what do we do again? Yeah, we set web query to true, and we send the voice request, which is a phrase, yeah, to stream manager. Then stream manager is now saying, okay, I'm going to send this to the AI manual request system, ask it to build me a Google syntax, and then we'll wait for a response back from OpenAI. I think this is at the point now where I can test this much, I think. Not sure. Let's find out. All right. Cat. Cat. Did my voice recognition break? No. Cat. Fuck's sake, why does she struggle with the wake word so much? It couldn't be simpler. Maybe it's too simple. Cat. Cat. Fucking hell. This is, I swear to God. It's like she hears everything else except her fucking name. Cat. Cat. Look up. Banana.
Hello, CP Copyum. Hello, CP Copyum.
Okay, what the fuck just happened? Right, it acknowledged that I wanted to do a web search. Wait, what the fuck? That makes no sense. The acknowledge voice request command was sent to OpenAI and it should have went to Stream Manager. What the fuck? And it got sent twice for some strange reason. Okay, that's weird. Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Acknowledge. Oh, okay, yeah, that's why. Because even with the web request, oh, does that actually always want to be acknowledge voice request? Oh, I'm so confused. So we only send acknowledge VR for acknowledge voice request. So acknowledge VR means we are sending a command using our voice, which we did do when we said look up, because that's a new voice request that we're building. So that was correct. And then in Stream Manager, is it in Stream Manager where we pick that up? I can't even remember. Yeah, okay, that used to be, yeah, we don't even use that anymore. See, that was really used as a flag to let Stream Manager know that we're about to do a voice request. And she used to pick one of these and then set it back, but it was just too slow, which is why I removed it. So we don't really actually use that system anymore. So this is just generally talking to the chatbot. Our web query should have been true. I don't know whether that actually, I don't think it did, because if that would have worked, it should have come back with some kind of debug message. I don't really know what the fuck went wrong. Oh my god, let's see that again.
Cat GPT is ready and waiting.
Cat, look up
Hello CP Copyum.
banana.
Hello CP Copyum.
Okay, what the hell? It's sending look up and banana to the chatbot. Why is it doing that? That's strange. Yeah, why is it doing that? That's strange. Why is that? Oh, we do set the conversation to false. Wait a minute, that still doesn't make any sense. Okay, we don't actually want to set the conversation to false because there's another stage to this. I wonder if that's why it's getting confused. Let me try that. Because conversation is only set to false after she's come back with the answer, if we can even get that far.
Cat GPT is ready and waiting.
Cat, look up banana.
Hello CP Copyum.
What the fuck is happening? Okay. Why are these going to the chat bot? That makes no sense. Also, what's the deal with this? It's saying it couldn't find manual request system. Yeah. Oh yeah, that might be why. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, it was okay, that's a good sign. So it was trying to do a manual request for us. So it understood that it was supposed to do a manual request, but for some reason AI got sent both those queries. It got sent look up and it got sent banana, which it shouldn't be doing. So why is that happening? Only Stream Manager could be doing that. And it could only be doing it here. We clearly say if web query is set to true, which it is. Oh, wait, we've got an oh, I know why. Yeah, I know why. We've got an internal and an external web query. So I updated the internal web query, but I didn't update Stream Manager's external web query. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's do that now. Yeah, okay, that does make sense, actually. There we go. So we let Stream Manager know that this is a web query. Yeah, okay, no wonder it wasn't working. But actually, well, we don't need, that's another good point. So web queries shouldn't even do that. Yeah, okay, you know what? We don't want to do that here. We only want to do it when we give it the human input. Because Stream Manager doesn't need to get involved until we've set a web query up. And I think we already did that. Yeah, we already did that. Okay, so that also explains why it was trying to work. Still doesn't really explain why it was sending the second query through to the chatbot though. That explains the first query, but it doesn't explain the second query. Okay, let's see what we get. Hello? Okay. She bugged out.
Cat GPT is ready and waiting.
Cat. 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 Fuck my life. Fuck my wife. I did not say that, okay? Don't even... Cat. Cat! Oh my god. Cat. Cat. Look up
Hello.
banana.
Hello.
Right. I don't understand what is happening. Okay. We're getting closer. Our manual request system built a query string and probably sent it to DaVinci. But we also made 2 AI queries in the process. Why is it doing this? It's fine. We're getting closer. We are getting closer. Because we built a string. We built a string. There you go. Look at that. We sent that to DaVinci. From the following question, please provide in square brackets a good syntax for a Google search to efficiently find the answer banana. Okay, in that context, it makes even less sense. But for some strange reason, we sent action acknowledge VR to the chatbot, and also we sent look up to the chatbot. Okay, I need to stop this from happening. I don't know why it's happening. Why is it only happening on web requests? That's really strange. I've obviously missed something. Right, let's just go through. So, oh, okay, it's because, no, yeah, no, that makes sense. That's what conversation true is for. Conversation true really is a flag for the chatbot. And I was thinking of it. I was thinking of it in the wrong way. I was thinking of it as in like, okay, we're still having a back and forth with cat. But really, that's not what that bool is. That bool is to say that, okay, yeah, we're having a back and forth with chat, but with cat, but in a chatbot sense. We're having like, which is why I called it conversation. So we're not, this isn't really part of a conversation. Well, yeah. So how do I get around that then? Because conversation has to be true. No, conversation means cat is listening basically. So if a conversation is set to true, it means she's actually looking at every text voice recognition input and acting upon them all. Yeah, okay, that makes sense then because okay, I know where what we need to do. I'm surprised she doesn't respond. I'm just thinking though, why is it only happening on web search? Like I get why this is happening, but now I'm more confused about why doesn't she, because conversation is true. So this used to just say conversation. So the thing is, conversation was true when I was saying things like music on, music off, and all this shit, but she doesn't respond to those verbally. She just acts upon the voice command. But she should, because conversation is true. So it's interesting how she is responding to the web queries, but she's not responding to things like music on and music off. Yeah, I'm slightly confused about how that's happened. There's got to be something. So that just recognizes that we've got a completed phrase. It looks at the completed phrase. Let me just test something. Or maybe we have been sending AI queries the whole time, but maybe Stream Manager just wasn't looking for responses, so it wasn't sending them to the speech engine, and I just didn't realize. Because that would make more sense that would be happening.
Cat GPT is ready and waiting.
Cat. 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 Oh my god, I need to do something about her wake word. This is fucking ridiculous. Breathe. Cat. Why does it... I just don't understand why it thinks that's part of the same phrase. It's so fucking annoying. It's not the fact that it's not recognizing the word cat. It's the fact that sometimes it seems to sit and wait for like 16 hours before it decides, oh, I guess we'll call this a new phrase. It's something to do with the way this weird like text-to-speech engine thing works. And that's the thing that's making this so hard to use. it's like I feel like I guess I'm gonna have to go under the hood of it and look at its code I'm gonna need to give it like a timeout function or something that says if I stop speaking for like I don't know 2 whole seconds, then anything that's said after that is a new phrase. Because that's the thing that's making this so hard to use is I will fail to get its wake word recognized, wait like 5 seconds, say something else, and it glues it onto the same phrase. Cat. Cat. Oh my fucking god! Cat. Cat. Play music.
I'm here to help you.
Okay, no, that is weird. Okay, she wasn't doing that before. Huh. So why is she suddenly responding to voice commands? She wasn't doing that before. Huh. But it makes sense that she is because, yeah, okay, that's interesting. It makes sense that she is because at least I can see where that's happening in code. But yeah, until I added this web query thing, she wasn't doing that and I don't really know why. Maybe that said something else. Maybe there was some other condition there. Anyway, I guess I'll just use, for now, I'm just going to use another bool, which we'll call commanding. And for these, both of these to happen, query equals true. Right, for either of these to happen, commanding wants to be false. There we go. But that's another thing, right? Okay, so I guess this also has to come underneath the voice commands. Otherwise, we'd never get the opportunity to set commanding to true to stop those from triggering. So I need to grab all of these voice commands and put them above the normal responses. There we go. So that way, if I'm doing any of these voice commands, yeah, see, like I said, the issue isn't her wake word. It's not that it's not recognizing the wake word. The issue is that the phrase generator thing, which is someone else's code, it seems to have too long of a cooldown or something before it decides, this must be a new phrase. I wonder if I can find something real quick to help with that because it's super frustrating. No, this isn't gonna work. Maybe, okay. Let's just see if moving... See, conversation has to be true, because conversation just means cat is listening, basically. I really don't understand why this is suddenly running differently to how it was. It's confusing the shit out of me, because now I have to think about a different way of handling all of the shit. It's still gonna trigger it, though. Okay, a better build to use, I think, would be current request complete equals false. Okay. So wake word is true. Conversation becomes false here, so we don't need to worry about it there. I don't think. So then I think here it would be like current request. But am I thinking the wrong way about this? Where is it we're getting that? I thought we did something like clear. Like we only do this once per request, so even though I think it runs in update, yeah, it does run in update. We must be clearing out the requests somewhere. Otherwise it would be responding over and over and over again to the last thing that we said. So where am I doing that? I could be doing it... I could be doing it in voice recognition cooldown. If request in progress equals false, works in